Do you know how Rick Grimes survived so long in a coma in the apocalypse with no one taking care of him? How he didn't die before waking up from the coma? What is the explanation for this strange phenomenon from the first season of The Walking Dead? This is a great question that is many years old, and yet there is an official answer to this, and I will tell you here in this video. If you wanna know, let's go! Hello everyone who watching this beautiful channel, my name is João Victor and I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead universe again. Basically, some explanation about the main show, about Rick Grimes. A question of several years, a question that comes up that a lot of people repeat about how Rick survived in the first season of the show all this time, how he survived this condition for days. But of course, before starting the explanation, don't forget to check the like in this video, it helps me a lot with the promotion. Also, if you like more contents about The Walking Dead universe and many other shows, don't forget to subscribe in this channel. And also I have to say thank you for your patience with my English, thank you for your feedback, I'm improving it. For you guys that are newcomers, this is not my native language, but I'm keeping improving it, trying my best, and let's go. Let's start everything by going back obviously to the first season of The Walking Dead. People have been asking for years about how Rick spent so much time in a coma in a hospital at the beginning of the outbreak in The Walking Dead and still woke up there alive. He was all broken, destroyed, yeah, his body was really weak, but he was still alive there. And going to the first point to explain this, I want to start with time. How long was Rick in a coma in The Walking Dead? How many days, weeks, or months? Yeah, the answer to this came years ago from the creator himself, Robert Kirkman, who is the guy from the comics, but he also created the show. He gave an interview and confirmed that Rick spent between 4 to 5 weeks in a coma. A month and a few days, you can say. And yeah, it's too strange to realize that a guy survived so long after this outbreak, no one taking care of him. I've seen several comments saying, oh, The Walking Dead is a plot hole, starts with a script hole. There's no way, it doesn't make sense. But no, we had people, not just one person, people who took care of Rick, managed him during this period. And I want to start with the first one, of course, Shane. This one most knows, most remember there at some moment, you know, of Rick in the hospital. He kind of opens his eye and see Shane there leaving some flowers. We know that Shane visited him in some periods, some moments when the world wasn't so screwed up yet. He visited Rick until he couldn't do it anymore, and after that, in the story of the show, Shane himself has already revealed that the hospital stretcher that was left at the door, he was the one who put it there to be able to stop some zombies to get in. Clearly, all this was in early days. It just explains part of how Rick's alive. But what about the rest? All the other period until Rick wakes up would be enough for him to die. That's where we come to the special point of this video. If we go back in this episode when Rick wakes up, we can see there's a long time. The flowers are dead. It's been a long time since Shane left it. And we see he has an IV drip there. He has something that is feeding his body. But when he tries to get up and falls, we see that his IV wasn't working anymore. It's empty in the scene. It's been a while that it's not full feeding his body anymore. You will agree with me that for him to have gotten up, for him to have at least woken up from this coma, it must be not long since this IV bag got empty. There must be a person who filled it there and took care of him while he was in a coma. And from that, I want to go to the most important point, The Walking Dead web episode. The short episodes that they released years ago that people don't use to talk too much, but it's canon. In this video, I'm going to talk especially about one that explains a lot of this. I want to talk about The Oath, which tells the story of a couple, Poe and Karina, right there at the exact moment that the outbreak began, in the same time when Rick was in a coma. Also, I have to say, Poe's actor is Wyatt Russell. He became more famous after that. He did a lot of movies and TV shows, also some Marvel Universe shows. But going back to this web episode, the story starts with them, the couple running there, Poe motivating Karina, and this is also the episode that shows the story of the twosome. The car that Rick and the guys in the first seasons of The Walking Dead until the prison, Poe and Karina are the first to take this car after the outbreak, but the main point of the story is that during the attack on the camp they lived, Poe ends up getting hurt. He tells Karina that it wasn't a zombie injury, and from there they leave with the car to look for the medical service, look for somewhere that can treat him to save him. They find one there, but it's totally taken over by zombies with no chance of having any survivors. They keep going until they arrive at a specific place, which the name is Harrison Memorial Hospital, the same hospital where Rick was. He was there in a coma at this moment. At first it looks like it's abandoned. The plan is to go there to try to get some supplies, some medicine and everything, but when they get in, they met the doctor who still lives in that place, who stayed there helping people in that place, helping some patients. Dr. Gale, who revealed that she stayed there after the army left. She stayed to keep the zombies away from the hospital, to protect the people who were there and help those who arrived, like for example, Poe himself. She takes great care of him until she realized the problem. She realized that Poe is going to die and he's going to transform. He's going to become a zombie. And there's a conversation, very sad conversation with Karina. She talks to her saying that she's going to sacrifice him, that she's going to have to give him the destination to avoid the other problems, and Karina says goodbye to him. She's very sad, she's very devastated, and after that the doctor takes him on the stretcher and sends him to the cafeteria. And yeah, you will probably recognize this location. The same place that Rick sees there at the first episode of The Walking Dead, the main show. But when Rick sees it, it is right in there. Don't open that inside. It is precisely the place where the doctor keeps people. Like, she stores the zombie there. She pushes the stretcher inside to close this completely dark and ugly place. And now we can get to the point of how Rick survived. In the sequence of the story, we see that Poe survived. He wasn't dead like they thought. He wasn't dying. He wakes up there, falls off the stretcher with several walkers around him. He fights in madness until he manages to get out. But while he's fighting, while he's trying to get out, Dr. Gale is trying to carry out a request from Karina herself. She would rather die than be alone, so she's going to put some medicine in her vein to end up her life. And it's there where the saddest scene of the episode happens, which is when Poe manages to get to Karina. In this moment, she gives him a smile, but there the medicine had already been injected into her vein, so she dies right in front of him. Extremely tragic, very sad, and he also got angry with the doctor. He points a gun at her. We have a very important moment to decide everything, and she explains that it was not her fault, that it was the woman who asked for it. And then it cuts to a moment when we have Poe himself painting the door. He's the person who paints on the door. Don't open that inside. And he keep with his strategy of living with Karina, even though she's a zombie. He takes her thief out and leaves the hospital with her zombie. And yeah, this web episode don't make it clear that he killed the doctor. It doesn't show him shooting, nor is there any noise or anything giving the idea that she was left alive there. And yeah, we have to remember that it's the same hospital where Rick was in a coma. So people used to watch this web episode and watch the main show and make a comparison about the scenario. It has some difference. The door is the same, but it's not that similar. But there's many reasons for that. The first one is different image filters. And the second point is that there were some things that they couldn't reproduce when they were filming this web episode, mostly because of the budget. But it's confirmed that that hospital there, that the story happens in the same hospital as Rick. All the story of this web episode happens while he was in one of the rooms there. Then with this story from this episode, I think many people will be able to connect the dots and understand that the explanation is, after Shane's departure in the first day, the one responsible for taking care of Rick was Dr. Gale herself. Yeah, she was proven to be in the hospital alone taking care of him. She probably managed to use the right medications on him, the IV bag that I talked about and everything else to keep Rick's body alive there, even in a coma as much as she could. Probably something happened to her a few days before Rick woke up, so she had to leave the hospital. And so even if you believe that Poe killed the doctor there, even without having shown the scene of him shooting, even without showing the noise of the shot, at least even if you believe that she died there in the web episode, the story could have happened days before he woke up from the coma. If you think that Poe killed Gale when he did it, she had already put the last IV bag there for him. Rick stayed there alone for a very short period, very few days or probably even hours, and like all of that justifies the fact that he didn't wake up 100%. He didn't wake up super well there on the first episode of The Walking Dead. He can't stand up for the first time, he drinks water from the tap, then he limps out, he walks like a zombie, very dehydrated, very destroyed. So much so that point Morgan finds him, he faints. It happens because he's not taking it anymore. His body can't take it anymore. Clearly, this is the best explanation for why Rick managed to survive the entire coma all these days and weeks after the beginning of the outbreak. Here's the explanation. Go write in the comments what you think if you like this explanation. The idea for them to bring an episode of more Tales of the Walking Dead, telling more this story, telling more about the doctor, about Gail, like how she managed the patients in the hospital, how she took care of Rick himself. They can make an episode about her entire journey, taking care of Rick, defending the hospital. Then some enemy arrives, she defends more. It can show that someone almost managed to get into Rick's room. She protects until the moment she couldn't take care of her anymore and left. Or they killed her, or something like that. May AMC listen to us and make an episode like this too? It's like a perfect The Walking Dead story to see some spin-off. And yeah, if you liked this video, don't forget to check the like button. It helps me a lot with the promotion. If you want to know more content about The Walking Dead universe, more videos, more explanations, don't forget to subscribe in this channel. I will keep doing more content about it. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back soon, and bye.